Hey Husker fans, Sam McKewon with the Omaha World-Herald and Husker Extra. This is our 2023 spring defensive recap for the Nebraska football team. We're breaking them down by each position, offense, defense, special teams, and this is the defense. Well, it is a work in progress for Tony White, the defensive coordinator, who is installing his 3-3-5 defense. We saw a little bit of it in the spring game, right? 3 down linemen. Linebackers kind of moving all over the place. Defensive backs doing the same. It doesn't really look like a 3-3-5 stack. It kind of looks like a 3, and then there's 8 guys, and they're all kind of moving all over the place, and it was pretty effective at times. They were able to force some turnovers. They were able to get a couple of sacks. They were able to get some TFLs. There was a couple of times where, because of the scheme, a guy just came open and he made a play 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. It was unexpected. It was aggressive. It was violent. And at times it was somewhat impressive. But nevertheless, it is going to take any defense, especially one making a significant schematic change, probably a year to make that full transition. So you're going to see some moments in 2023 where things look really good, and then you're going to see some moments where it struggles. Okay, let's go position group by position group. We'll start with the defensive line. There, Nebraska is going to have to, rely on young guys. They've got Ty Robinson. They've got Nash Hutmaker. They've got Elijah Judy. I don't know that Elijah Judy is exactly a finished product, right? He hasn't played much football at Texas A&M, and then they got a bunch of young guys. How do we know that? Because Stephon Wynn went into the transfer portal here recently. That means pretty much all of the top guys, with the exception of Robinson from last year, are basically gone. Colton Feast, he moved on. Obviously, other guys were done with their eligibility. Ty Robinson's the last guy, and he didn't really play in spring, and so he's going to have to get used to this defense when he comes back. The young guys are like Cam Lenhart, Princewell Umanyalan, a few other players who are coming in. Kai Wallen, who was a junior college transfer. They're kind of lining them up all over the place. And a lot of these guys aren't really big. They're 245, 250, 255. And at times you were seeing them kind of line up in interior spots, which was a little bit surprising. But other times they were lining up sort of as 9 techniques. And as pass rushers, as getting outside the tackles and being able to press the pocket, I was pretty impressed, especially with Lenhart, who I think is going to be an above-average pass rusher for a freshman. He looked like a pretty good player, pretty polished guy. And so I think that position is still under construction, so to speak, and you have to be honest about the level of recruiting that Nebraska did not do at that position, really from 2020 all the way until this most recent year, because through 2020 to 2022, they just didn't get a lot of players. A lot of those guys have gone. A lot of those guys didn't really fit. Ty Robinson's really the last holdover. We'll see what they're able to get. You think of like a guy like Rukon Buckley, not a bad player, didn't do a ton in the spring game, so we'll see what his role is going forward. It looked like Umanyalan and Lenhart both kind of jumped him, so we'll see exactly what happens there. At linebacker, it's going to be fun. They got some players at linebacker. They don't necessarily have a ton of seasoning outside of Luke Reimer and Nick Henrich, both of whom did not play in the spring game. Reimer had some limited usage in spring camp. I think he will fit this defense really well because he's a little bit undersized and he's really fast, and so he'll be able to kind of get to some places and make some plays. I think Reimer might be one of the biggest beneficiaries of this particular defense. And then Henrich has to come back from yet another injury, so he will be good to go in the fall. MJ Sherman, the Georgia transfer, I thought he did some nice things in the spring game. He's got the body to kind of play that defensive end spot if they need to, come off the edge, but simultaneously make drops. Chief Borders, a little undersized, maybe a little slight, not undersized, not small frame, but maybe a little slight. If you were to compare his size to maybe like a Princewell Umanyalan, who can also play a little bit of linebacker, Umanyalan's a little bit more developed, so is Cam Lenhart. I think Borders will probably have to put maybe a little bit more on the frame and still retain the speed. And then you've got to find out, okay, what can some of these other young guys do? So Garrett Snodgrass, what can Grant Taggy do? And then you've got that group of very young linebackers who haven't done a lot at Nebraska. Seth Malcolm, right? Randolph Kapai, Makai Bayer. Which of those players are they going to keep working with and which they are not? None of them transferred. I mean, they're all still here. I think you need a lot of linebackers in this system. I think you need a lot of guys who can do a lot of different things because you're probably going to get some people banged up along the way. So they may feel pretty good about what they have in that room and want to continue to work with that. But that's something that you're going to want to watch. How many linebackers do they use and in what ways do they rotate them? Then that defensive backfield. I think that group's going to be pretty good. That's my hunch. So long as the two corners, Quinton Newsome and Malcolm Hartsock, stay healthy, and generally, corners stay healthy, generally, I think they're going to be in pretty good shape. They probably needed to solidify who that third corner is going to be, but I like the group of players they have at safety. First, Marquise Buford, he'll be back probably in the fall. Second, Miles Farmer, he's a returning starter. Now, he was with the second team in the spring game, but I think he's a pretty good player. And then, of course, you've got Isaac Gifford playing that sort of rover spot. I think he's a really good fit for that role. Then you've got some guys over there like Javen Wright, who's also maybe a potential rover, Gage Stanger, who might be a potential rover. And then you've got guys back there like Corey Collier, the Florida transfer, pretty good safety back there. Kane Williams is another guy that you might see in that rover/linebacker hybrid role. And then you've obviously got, some Omar Brown, who I thought played pretty well in the spring. He did miss a tackle against Gabe Ervin. But you've got some guys back there, Deshaun Singleton, Javier Morton. You've got some football players. And I think the depth in that room is going to be pretty good for the next 2 years. You need to hit on some of these guys who are coming in. But I think they're in relatively good shape back there. This would be exactly what happened in 2018 when Scott Frost's staff got here, and what they inherited in the secondary was pretty good, right? Remember, they had Antonio Reed, and they had Aaron Williams, and then they went and got Trey Neal from Central Florida, and they had DiCaprio Boodle, and they had some players, is my point. They had some guys. They weren't half bad in that room that year. I think Nebraska's new staff has the exact same situation. Evan Cooper took over a pretty good deal. He'll have that for a couple of years, and then they got to make sure that they replenish it with talent. Overall, I think this defense just needs time. It needs seasoning. It's going to need those guys who were hurt to come back and play really well, right? So Henrich and Robinson and Buford are very important to this defense. They need more players. Too often in Nebraska's history in the Big Ten, they haven't had enough guys that can rotate in, and so guys get worn down, they get worn out, and they get hurt. And so Nebraska's got to find a way to develop 22 guys, not just 13 of them, and Matt Rule seems pretty committed to that. Okay, Husker fans, that is our review of the defense from 2023 spring camp. For the Omaha World-Herald and Husker Extra, I'm Sam McKewon.